Hey guys, welcome back to the Chaotic Kids channel, where I'm Michelle making fantasies come true, one story at a time. And today we're going to be doing a video that's kind of different from my usual videos. So typically on this channel, I talk about I talk about my reading life, my writing life, I talk about book reviews, I talk about kind of doing book related things. And so I wanted to have a conversation more about my mental health side, and kind of encourage people out there to go see a therapist. So yesterday I had a therapy session, with my therapist, and I will say it was the most beautiful experience I had in not a very long time, because I do think every session with my therapist, it does help me in a way. But I just wanted to encourage people out there, if you are having troubles with controlling your emotions or anything like that, just like when you're feeling not like you feel unfulfilled in life, I would highly suggest seeing a therapist. Because therapy is such a beautiful thing. And even for me, so I am somebody with multiple personalities. I have some sort of dissociative disorder, never been officially diagnosed, but I'll say so. I started therapy back in 2018. I think I was a senior in high school. I had just tried to end my life, and they were like, you need help, kind of thing. And at the time, when I was almost 18, so they couldn't force me into doing therapy, but I was like, I acknowledged that I needed help. And so I was like, I accepted therapy. And for me, my story kind of always started with more depression-focused mental health. But through the 8 years of therapy that I've done, I've learned so much about myself. And my mental health has been slowly evolving in a way. Now I'll kind of give you the history of how my mental health has kind of evolved. So originally I was diagnosed with major depression. Then a little bit later I was diagnosed with bipolar type 2 disorder, I believe. And then it got into schizoaffective disorder. Now it's kind of complex PTSD with some sort of dissociative disorder. I've never been diagnosed with any kind of multiple personality disorder. Different classifications are dissociative identity disorder, other specified dissociative disorder, depersonalization, derealization, and I think there's one called PDID. I don't know what that one's labeled as, but there's these different classifications of diagnoses that revolve around dissociation. And like I said, I've never been officially diagnosed with anything, and I'm not going to be sitting here talking about my multiple personalities, but I will say, with therapy, and as my time with therapy has evolved, because I think I've kind of always done once every other week therapy. Sometimes there was every week, but it was always kind of every other week therapy. There was also a time when I was only doing therapy once a month. But I've done therapy regularly for 8 years. And I've been through, I believe, 5 therapists and 3 med providers, I believe. But with each person I meet, I learn something new about myself. I also learn, they help me with my medication, but so the med providers, each one gets better and better because I understand myself more. And with each one so far, they've known more about how to help me in a way. Except the second. Well, no, the first one I had was really bad. The second one was also kind of bad, but I understood what he was saying. The third one is, I love her, kind of thing. But with my therapist, again, each time I keep evolving because I keep uncovering more about myself. And it's such a beautiful thing to understand myself more and more. Because growing up, I really shut off my emotions. Mostly because I always felt like I was being undermined. Because like even in school, like I would say something, but then a boy would say something and they would get the credit and I wouldn't, kind of thing. And then in my family, I was the youngest of four, and there's 4 years in between us all. And by the time I was in my formative years, mom was at work from typically until 7 o'clock. And then dad was working, but if he wasn't working, he was outside. So I never really had, in my opinion, and I don't know, like I also never felt safe, like I never felt comfortable sharing with what I was going through with my mom, because it seemed like she would always then share it with her brothers and sisters. And I'm just like, I don't want everyone to be broadcast of my emotions and like what I was going through. Says someone now who talks about their mental health. But back then I was very conflicted in a lot of different ways. And I didn't think it was right for my family members to know. And the only reason my family members know now is if they start a conversation with me, then I'll be like, oh yeah, this is what's going on, kind of thing. But even then, I'm selective with what people know, kind of thing. But what I basically want to say, like, is if you're struggling out there, go seek help from somebody. And personally for me, like, therapy was the way for me to go. But I've known some people who just need that medication help. And like for my sister, she just kind of needs help with her anxiety and depression. But even then, like when you're in those like 15-30 minute conversations with a med provider or a nurse practitioner or a doctor, like they still will help you, like you'll bring up this topic and then they'll be like, okay, for that you might need, like you'll need to work on this and go into a little conversation about that. And my sister's like that that helps her a lot. And the reason she can't go into therapy right now is because she works nights. She also has 3 young kids. So it's just a lot of like balancing family life with mental health side. And so it's like not everyone will be able to set aside an hour time to pour out your feelings, then go back straight into like family time. Like when you pour out your emotions in therapy, you're drained afterwards. Like for me, I like have that conversation, and if it's a real emotional time, it takes me like up until supper time. So I have it at 2, up until supper time at like 5 to be like, I'm back. But even then I'm not back. So it's like therapy is extremely draining, but it's also so fulfilling because you keep learning more about yourself. And I know this, like I've been friends with somebody for 5 years now, maybe longer than that. But I've known this person since probably 2021. And she is more of the religious type, and I'm getting to be more religious, like we're Catholic. But she acknowledges, like, if I were to look back when I first met her, first went to that local Catholic shop called Soul Provider, she's like, if you looked back from that point, like if I looked back in time from that point, what would I say to that younger Michelle? And I'm just like, honestly, I'd be like, you're going through some rough things. It's only going to get rougher, but like life is going to get beautiful. And I'm going to say right now, like I'm in my best, as some people say, era. Like I am growing so much more, and I am so hopeful for the future now. Like before my future, I always thought I was going to die after high school. And like, I just look at myself now and I'm like, I have so much potential. Like I write books. I have these aspirations. I possibly want to become a sister. And I'm just like, if you would have told that like 20-year-old Michelle I was going to do this, she would have laughed in your face and been like, you're crazy, I'm gone, kind of thing. And I'm just like, that Michelle has grown so much more. And I honestly think it's a lot because of my therapist, like my therapy, but also because I've like connected with people I feel like I connected with. Like these people, like these ladies that I hang out with, they are in like my grandma's age or my dad's age. My dad could also be my grandpa. But like these ladies I felt connected with and I felt loved with. And it just shows how like as long as you feel comfortable with somebody, you can share. And basically, like, if you're going through rough times right now, I promise you it will get better. You're going to be going through some stuff. Personally, for me, I wouldn't say I went through a lot of rough stuff, because like I never ended up I've never ended up homeless, because my family is such a great support. And like right now, if it wasn't for my family, I wouldn't have this house. I wouldn't have my computer. I wouldn't be able to do all the things I'm doing now. Um, which I'm so thankful for my family, because they help ground me in a lot of ways. But like if it wasn't for them, like I know people won't always have that support of getting the help that they need, but or getting their needs met financially. But try to reach out and get someone to help. I don't know, like I know there's a crisis hotline and stuff. But everyone, like I would highly suggest getting that help you need. And like if you're still in high school, like I'm sure you guys have counselors, and like granted they may not, like I know personally for my school, we have therapists now. Well, I'm not in high school anymore, but like when I was in high school, they had a therapist that you could talk to. And I'm like, just seeing that person who doesn't know, like, can't fully help you the way that it needs to be helped. Like, she can't go into long, like, getting you diagnosed or anything, but she can help you in certain ways. And so it's really helpful and beneficial to use your resources that you have. Also for me, I would say, like, if you are religious, go see your pastor, your father, your priest, or if you have a convent next to you, like a group of sisters. Like for me, if I had a community, like a sisterhood around me, I would have probably went to talk to them, because I was going through struggles with my religion, and religion has always been super close to my heart. And because I didn't have that relationship, and I was kind of fighting my relationship with my priest, I never really, that's why I fell out of my faith for so long, which is like 5 years. But like, because of that, I fell away, and now I'm coming back into it, and I'm like, I feel so much better now. But like, I would just highly suggest getting help. Have somebody you can have a relationship with, but still have that like almost professional conversation with, but also still having that almost friendship like, because like I know my therapist is not my friend, but she understands me probably better than my siblings do, because I open up with her, because I'm realistic with her, and because she understands how to help me. And that's honestly why, like, whatever my future holds, I would like to be that like supportive, understanding person for someone else. Like, I would love to get to know people and help them in certain ways to become a better person. Like, I want to like help people write books. I want to like teach people how writing or reading can be an escape from reality. I want to help them like possibly get therapy. Like, I want to help people so much, and that's such an ingrained part of me that I'm like, what I'm going through right now is just helping me along that journey. Yeah, so I just want to say, like, therapy is such an important thing, and honestly, if you guys want to reach out to me and have conversations about like therapy and how to help, I will try to help the best I can. I'll try to leave a link. I'll try to have my email down in the description. But honestly, like, just get out and get help. Therapy, anything out there, like, even just having a reliable person you can talk to, like, that is such an important thing. And the reason this keeps getting brought up to my attention, or like why I keep thinking about it, is because around my area, there's been a lot of people killing themselves, and I just can't bear it. Because, like, I was in that situation, like, high school me was thinking about it, and I'm like, don't do it. Like, and unfortunately, a lot of them are kids, and I'm just like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, because, like, I get their pain, but at the same point, it's not the right choice to make. Yeah, so I hope people can get help. I really want people to get help. And, You're going to be reluctant at first, but I promise you it's going to get better. Life will get better. You just have to find the right community for you. And for me, my community just happens to be a bunch of Catholics, which some people could think that's crazy. But for me, my Catholic friends are the ones that I feel the most connected with. And honestly, I don't really have any friends outside of them because I found such rooted friendship in these ladies. And all the people that I've met in my Catholic faith. Like, they helped me to strengthen my relationship, but they've also helped me become a better person and acknowledge life and acknowledge that not everyone's perfect. Like, for me, adults were always supposed to have understood everything. But I acknowledge, like, adults still won't have everything understand, but they can help you get through it in a way. Yeah, so I hope that helped you guys in some way. If you need therapists, I would suggest reaching out to people, reaching out to communities, Google, and just get the help that you need, because therapy and mental health is such a crucial thing to people. I've read in several books, like, there's 3 different parts of a person. There's the mental side, the physical side, and the spiritual side. And to be a well-balanced person, you need all 3 of those aspects to be the best person you can be. And that is so true for me right now. Like, I feel like I'm the best person, like, getting to be the best person I can be with those 3 attributes ingrained in me. So, yeah. I just hope you guys will get the help that you need. If you want some help finding people, comment down below or email me. And I hope you guys will get the help that you need, okay? So I guess I'll end with my classic saying, remember to keep making fantasies happen one story at a time. And I will see you guys later, okay? Bye.